welcome to part 2 of the Ayala Deathlacy. In part 1 we experienced a midlife crisis. Since then, Akoni has been trying to upgrade his rank as a magician in order to prepare for his death. And Lashawn has been staying at Devon's while getting even more heavily pregnant. Lashawn has also been trying to upgrade her painting skill in order to be able to paint Akoni before he dies. The next day, Akoni receives an opportunity to apply for a gig, and preparations are made for the first baby. During the later hours of the day, Akoni finally bags himself a gig at the park. But the baby is coming. Akoni makes it to the hospital first, but his automation makes him want to keep going home for some reason. With no recourse, I'm forced to make him sunbathe in the middle of the night. To keep him in place, Lashawn arrives shortly after, wakes one look at her husband, and then walks into the hospital. Lashawn gives birth to a baby girl. The name Alexandria is chosen. Alexandria's traits are randomized. She is a couch potato and easily impressed. But little did they know, Alexandria's death had already been predetermined. Death by blunt force trauma. In preparation for the 4 of the children they need in order to complete Akoni's life challenge, they sell the windows, curtains, and more. With the additional money, they're able to buy another crib. Akoni also starts using his magical abilities to conjure things of value. With the money combined and the selling of the cameras, they're able to buy the 3 other cribs. In order to meet the deadline for Akoni's lifetime wish, they use the power of adoption. The name Bethany is chosen for the first child. They adopt a second child, this one to be called Catherine. Somehow, I don't remember how, they were able to afford a toilet as well. Akoni, who all this time has been taking a break at the Paradise Pub, is now late for his gig. During Akoni's performance, the 3rd child arrives, a boy named Duncan. Reviewers say Akoni's performance was okay, I guess. With the money from the gig, they're also able to purchase a shower. In all this excitement, I totally forgot to check the traits of the adopted children. Duncan is a friendly virtuoso, whose death is by a watery grave. Catherine is a clumsy artist, whose death is by jelly bean. Bethany is both clumsily and easily impressed, and her predetermined death is the haunting curse. In order to help him in his pursuit in the magician career, Akoni chooses that was deliberate lifetime reward. Lashawn chooses the fast learner lifetime reward in order so she can learn painting more effectively. The 4th child finally arrives and is named Earl. Earl is a loner who loves the outdoors. His prescribed death is by dehydration. What happened next was basically a game of crybaby whack-a-mole, until Akoni floundered in through the front door and assumed his shift. Presumably, people were throwing food at Akoni during his performance, as a 40-pound steak is found in his inventory. It's sold, and we thank you for the donation. Even though Lashawn hasn't seen work in at least about a week, she's still receiving the payments. In between playing Crybaby Whack-A-Mole, Lashawn finds time in order to be able to continue her painting. To aid her on her quest, A painting stencil is installed in the home. After finishing her shift looking after the children, Lashawn decides it will be a good idea to throw a party when the children turn into toddlers. While applying for another gig, Akoni earned a promotion and gained rank 3 of the magician profession, and applied for another gig performance. Then on the third day, marked the special occasion of Duncan's birthday, Owen, Agon's, and Alex's, and Earl's, and Beth's, and Kath's birthday. On the way home, Akoni decides it will be a good idea to get a 6th child into the house, given the fact that the idea carries 4,500 lifetime happiness. It's too sweet of an offer to pass up. With Akoni's return, Lashawn decides to get some sleep. But it was not to be, cause on this very day, she had to return to work. As Lashawn set off to work, Akoni volunteered to arrange the party for her. The party would be arranged for 9 o'clock, a buffet table, and a sofa installed for the party. But Akoni had a gig at 5 o'clock. Lashawn finished at 3 o'clock. Lashawn tried to get some sleep in between because she was as tired as hell. It was now 5 o'clock and Akoni was running late for his gig. Again, Lashawn could not get any rest as the crybaby whack-a-mole had already begun. By the time Akoni had managed to set up his stage, it was 7 o'clock. And his performance was practically over. But by this time, the first of the guests for the party had arrived. Would you believe it cost 250 simoleons to fill the buffet table? By this time, the partygoers had begun arriving in force, and Lashawn was still as tired as hell. Last-minute things are added, including a birthday cake and some music. 1 hour into the party, and the first review comes in of a dissatisfied party guest. While grabbing some food, Lashawn's exhaustion gets the better of her, and all of the other party guests just watch for some reason. In retaliation, Lashawn turns off the music so she will be able to get some rest. Apparently, the radio comes with a remote because it is turned on a moment later regardless. On the upside, Lashawn and Devin get to slow dance. Despite being the 4th child, Duncan is the 1st child to evolve to a toddler. Catherine is the 2nd child to evolve. Earl, or as I like to call him Early, arrives late and comes in at 3rd place. Bethany is the last of them to evolve. Mortality finally catches up to Akoni as he finally evolves into an old man. Despite having a birthday party for everyone, Lashawn doesn't receive any lifetime happiness. While scrolling through Akoni's inventory, a book is found worth 2,000 plus simoleons. Presumably this is from the party that happened before. With the funds from the buck, they order another crib, so Akoni can get 4,500 more lifetime happiness. The 5th adopted child arrives named Fiona, and the toilet is clogged. So they sell the toilet, and a new one is purchased, one that will never break. Despite now having a full household, Akoni still wants another child. Given it is 4,500 reward points, it is still accepted. The next day marks a celebration of Fiona's birthday. Fiona's traits include being athletic and also being a generally good person. Her death is by transmutation. The adoption of Fiona allowed Lashawn to continue getting paid for practically nothing. While performing a gig, Akoni gets to rank 4 of the magician profession. At the same time, Fiona evolves into a toddler. Lashawn takes a nap from looking after the children while Akoni was busy advancing in his career. But it was not to be, as Lashawn's leave time had expired. In desperation, Lashawn book some time off. With the additional funds, the house is expanded in preparation for when the children turn into children. Lashawn, after continuously having to delay going back to work, finally decides to give up the ghost and quit. Sound reasoning since she became an adult, unexpectedly off-screen. Akoni tries to get a gig at a different venue, but it doesn't go to plan, and the unbreakable toilet becomes clogged. The next day marks the occasion of the birthday of all of the children, except Fiona. Earl is the first to evolve into a child and gains the inappropriate trait. Alexandria, the one true heir to the Ayala household, evolves into a child and gains the mean-spirited personality trait. Duncan is the third to evolve and gets the absent-minded trait. Bethany comes in at number 4 and gains a light sleeper trait. Catherine comes in last and gains the technophobe trait. And with that, so ends the Toddler Wars. Will Akoni live long enough to see his lifetime wish come to fruition? Will Lashawn be able to paint him in time? Will Akoni reach the top of the magician's career and get the death he was designated? Find out this and more in the next episode of the Ayala Deathlacy.